But the next on the list, probably somebody that's most near and dear to me. The other half of my life, my daughter Alyssa.
I should thank my dad first. I didn't think this was going to I don't speak about this really. My dad, I speak publicly a lot, but I don't speak about this. My dad has the strength that I don't have to do that. So he had the strength to put this on tonight, and I can't believe that there's as many people here to support him and me and all of you. I wouldn't be able to just talk like everybody else has been about this, so I wrote something down to talk about my brother. My brother Jesse died of a drug overdose on October 16th, 2015. He was 23, I was 25. I could talk about how horrible that night was when we found out, or how horrible it has been living with this for almost 3 years. I've decided though that instead of talking about that, I would focus on remembrance and awareness, as that is what this evening should be about. My brother and I grew up inseparable. I don't remember the day he was born, although my dad has countless videotapes. But I do know that there was not a day that I wasn't so happy to have a younger brother. I liked taking care of him and playing with him. Growing up, you could always find us playing with my Barbies or his Batman things. We would build tents or forts in our rooms and pretend we were camping. We would ride our bikes with friends and neighbors for hours. We would take turns trying to help each other beat the next level of our favorite video games. We used to have sleepovers almost every night. After my parents would come in and tuck us in, he would sneak into my room with his sleeping bag and ask if he could sleep on my floor, or ask me if I could go sleep on his bottom bunk. When things got hard, we would blast our favorite CD in our little black boombox and dance around the room. A lot of girls my age had brothers that were his age, and I remember other parents telling my parents that they were amazed at how well we got along. As we got older, we remained incredibly close. He was always the life of the party and always telling jokes. He was funny and likable and was incredibly talented at pretty much everything he tried. He taught himself to play the guitar and the drums, and could often be found slamming on the drums in the basement, making our whole house shake. He played at school events and at shows with his bands and just for fun with his friends or by himself. While music was his passion, he was also always a very talented athlete, and we loved to play baseball and football outside with my dad, and we loved to go to football games and basketball games and baseball games. He also got straight A's and received an academic scholarship to college. He got a degree in computer science in 4 years and got a job in his field very shortly after that. He went to work every day. He had his own apartment. He was independent and successful. We were smart. We had a lot of friends. We spent a lot of time together, hanging out with our friends and our family, laughing and having a lot of fun. We were happy, and we were what most people would consider completely normal. It's obviously so much better to think about the good times instead of what happened in the end. At some point, Jesse and I went down different paths. He said yes to something that I said no to, and that was it. There was no difference between us except for that one decision. So many people suffer through years of addiction, but that didn't happen to my brother. Everything was fine and normal and happy. He never went to rehab. He didn't battle on and off sobriety for years. It just happened so quickly. I think that this is the most important thing to try and express here. I did not spend the past few minutes raving about him just because he was an amazing person that I love. I'm describing him to you to help people understand that there is not one stereotypical type of person who will die of an overdose. There's not one typical story. There are not words to describe the pain that I feel having lost my brother, so it would not be worth me trying to explain that here. But something I can explain by sharing my brother's story is that this could happen to anyone, any person, anywhere. The disease does not discriminate, and anyone thinks that they've grown up well, or they've had a happy life, or they're too smart for this to happen to them. It's not true, and my brother is proof of that. In closing, I'll say that I'm so sorry to anyone who has a loved one and has lost them to this disease, but I'm glad, unfortunately, that we have each other as a community to remember our loved ones together today. To those of you who have loved ones still struggling with this disease, keep fighting for them. And to those of you who think that you will never have to deal with this struggle or pain, I thought that too. So keep your eyes open and keep your eyes on your loved ones always. Thank you.
Thank you, Alyssa. We'll go up to the winery now.